mid-vacation, let us pray. Lord, as we officially begin summer, we ask for your continued blessings upon this place we call Muskegon County and its citizens. We also ask you to help to make it a safe summer for all of those citizens. And we pray that the decisions that we make will ensure that. As always, protect all those who watch over us both here and abroad. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Collins.
Here.
Commissioner Cross.
Here.
Commissioner Darasinski.
Here.
Commissioner Engel.
Here.
Commissioner Jagger.
Here.
Commissioner Longmire.
Present.
Chairman Mahoney.
Here.
Commissioner Plummer.
Here.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Here.
Vice Chairman Snyder.
Here.
Commissioner Wilkins. Here. 11 present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. So, somebody wishing additions, changes? Motion approved, Commissioner Darasinski, second Commissioner Cross. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. The approval of the minutes of June 12th. So moved. Second. Moved by Commissioner Engel, seconded by Commissioner Collins to approve the minutes of June 12th. Any changes, discussion, concerns? If none, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. We are now at a point in the agenda where we will accept public comment on an agenda item. Anyone in the public wishing to speak to this board on an agenda item? None. We'll move on. We have some communications from the County of Oscoda. The first one dealing with synthetic marijuana and their dangerous products. The second one, I want to investigate a little further to see if there's actually a concern about diverting money from the trust fund. I've not heard, that's the first I've heard of it. I'll look into it further for you. That. Move on. Committee reports.
Chair, if I may, the communication aid, is there any way that we, as the county, can have a similar ordinance? Is there anything?
That's fine.
Yes, we could. But the news is right there this morning, the state forecast. So it's statewide. Yes, statewide.
Okay, moving on to committee reports. Community development, strategic planning. Commissioner Skolnick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Community Development and Strategic Planning Committee met on June 21st, 2012. It was recommended on new CD/SP 12/06/06.
Second. Moved and seconded to accept the strategic planning and development and strategic planning committee report. Any discussion? If not, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Cross.
Yes.
Commissioner Darasinski.
Yes.
Commissioner Engel.
Yes.
Commissioner Jagger.
Yes.
Commissioner Longmire.
Yes.
Commissioner Plummer.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Snyder.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Chairman Mahoney.
Yes.
11 yes.
Motion carries.
That completes my report, Mr. Chair.
And thank you, Commissioner Skolnick. Next, we have the Transportation Committee report. Commissioner Wilkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Transportation Committee met on June 21st, 2012. It was recommended, and I move TR 120622 through TR 120632.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Wilkins, seconded by Commissioner Longmire to approve the Transportation Committee report. Any discussion? Mr. Jagger.
Number 32, I kind of have a problem with it. We just 2 weeks ago raised taxes because we didn't have enough money to support the county. On top of that, we're gonna be making budget cuts and people cuts and position cuts here in just another 3 months. And I don't wanna contribute to having people leave this building with their goods because we are doing feel-good projects. I don't believe we should be doing them anymore, and we should, until we get our budget completely under control. And the last thing is, giving the one community over another community isn't fair. We have 4 kids throughout this whole county, and so somehow or another, we decided that a couple places deserves more than other places deserve, and I don't think that's very fair to anybody either. So, and another thing is Mr. Coleman just raised $20,000 to have the fireworks put on, and he raised the money. If we want to do these feel-good projects, and this should have been raised the same way, we should have asked the public, or churches, or the Lions, or someone to support it, to do this, if this is what we want to do. Thank you.
Commissioner Plummer.
Just questioning Mr. Lucan's email that he sent out about the money that was paid for by these municipalities for the service. Did I misunderstand that? The city of Muskegon Heights, city of Muskegon, Norton Shores, I believe the Muskegon Township, paid for the use of that trolley for their citizens?
They contribute to the transportation system, yes.
I believe they are paying for it, the way I read it, so, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I think that this is the first time that we've done this, and we wanted to get the young people acquainted with the fairgrounds, and we could have a centralized location and everybody could come. We're just trying to, promote this county and make kids more aware of what's going on.
I think to expand on that, we had to try this to find what the challenges may be, and you don't try it on a full-blown system because you don't know. This is kind of a, I think you can call it feel good, but I think it's an important thing to get all portions of our community acting together. We are not a bunch of individuals, we're a group.
Anyone else? Did we, just as a quick question, did we ever get a number on approximately, we waived a $200 fee, was that how it was? It was 2
No,
hours.
we never did get a final number. What we're looking at is
2 hours.
two buses making 2 trips.
Minimum of 2 hour fee waiver.
It's not that I don't like all the projects and all the beautiful things that we do. That's the furthest thing from my mind. It's just that last year we laid off 5 people. They left with their junk and their pictures and all their stuff. I'm not into laying people off unless it's an absolute necessity. And when we do things like this, that becomes a necessity. And I don't want to do that.
Anyone else?
How far does $400 go to a yearly salary?
Not very far. Okay, if we could. Anyone else?
I'm glad to see this happening, Marv. I thank you for your effort in doing this. When I was a kid living on a farm, you kind of hid. When I was in college, everybody said, wow, you got a grandpa on a farm? And these kids need this, and this can be expanded to $400. If it is that, on the free trolley we had at Power Tour, contributions well exceeded that. And that's something we took a gamble in trying. And look where that went. And our fairgrounds, if you haven't been out there and seen what's happening, I urge you all to get there. Our county fair is just getting better and better every year.
Mr. Chair, I would like to add too, there are some kids that know nothing about a farm. This is very, very educational. And even if I had to pay some money to do it, I would pay my share to have them go for free.
Anyone else? Just as a quick comment, final comment on it is, at the beginning, during the invocation, I called for a safe summer. And I think these kinds of projects help that process along, make it safe in those neighborhoods. Thank you. With that, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Darasinski.
Yes.
Commissioner Engel.
Yes.
Commissioner Jager.
Yes on everything until you get to number 32, the last one, that's a no.
Commissioner Longmire.
Yes.
Commissioner Plummer.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Snyder.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Cross.
Yes.
Chairman Mahoney.
Yes.
11 yes on 22 through 31, 10 yes, 1 no on 32.
Motion carried.
That concludes my report, Mr.
Thank you. Commissioner Collins, Ways and Means Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Ways and Means Committee met on June 19th, 2012. It was recommended I move WM 12/6-92 through 97.
Moved by Commissioner Collins, seconded by Commissioner Cross to accept the Ways and Means Committee report of June 19th. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Engel.
Yes.
Commissioner Jager.
Yes.
Commissioner Longmire.
Yes, except 95. All except 95.
Thank you. Commissioner Plummer.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Snyder.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Cross.
Yes.
Commissioner Darasinski.
Yes.
Chairman Mahoney.
Yes.
11 yes on 92 through 94, 96 and 97, 10 yes and 1 no on 95.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes the report.
Thank you, Commissioner Collins. Under my report, I have 2 or 3 things here in addition to what's there. First of all, the July planning session, board planning session, is tentatively set for July 12th at 1:30. Probably will be at the Matt Center. We are going to be talking about leasing gas and oil on county property, with Mark Heisenberg bringing folks in to talk to us about it. Okay.
Is that gonna be-
Probably the Matt Center, but I'll,
I have a jail planning
I think
session.
it was
Yeah.
the 10th.
July 10th. Right. Did I say a different date?
You said 12.
Oh, I lied to you guys.
July 10th is Northside Water Board meeting.
We'll get back to you. I'll
Okay.
work with
That's what Mark
Mark
gave me.
Heisenberg.
Could we do it at a regular session here? I mean,
Sure, we can do that.
Well,
It's going to be rather lengthy. I
it's
was-
rather lengthy to do that.
well, sometimes we say that and then we're there for 20 minutes and we're gone. So if it is going to be lengthy, fine, but
I'll work with Mark Heisenberg and see, we'll get back to you. Date to be determined.
Date to be determined.
okay, that's fine.
I'm flexible. Okay, fireworks, 4th of July at Heritage Landing. Mr. Skolnick, want to add anything to that?
I just spent, prior to this meeting, I spent an hour with the City of Muskegon Director of Public, the police chief and fire chief and the fire marshal, and everything is nicely flowing into place. I will say that although the money has been donated, this is turning into quite an expensive proposition. I thought about it before I started doing it, I probably wouldn't have done it, but it's expensive, that's all I can say. So,
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure everyone will enjoy the show.
we need to spread the word, and I need volunteers, I'm still looking for about 10 volunteers that night. Nothing dangerous, mainly to provide just some security, although there'll be plenty of police and sheriff's deputies there, but just basically be eyes and ears out in the crowd, and let us know, for example, there can't be any personal fireworks going off and that sort of thing. So, if anybody's interested in doing that, you'll get your reward in the, you take your main reward in heaven. We'll get a shirt, so.
Thank you, Commissioner Scott. Okay.
I have a liaison.
Oh, let me finish here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Annually, we have the Road Rage Awareness Week. I've not gotten a resolution from them this year, but I will mention that on Sunday, July 8th, at Hackley Park, they're having a celebration of life. Saturday, July 14th, a Drive for Road Rage Caravan leaves Mona Lake Park at 9, meets on Alpine and Walker, so on. And then also that same day, a family and friends celebration is at Mona Lake Park in Muskegon from 12 to 4. And that's the Road Rage Awareness Week. Free food, fun, games, giveaways. Thank you. And in which case, liaisons, Commissioner Snyder.
I want to just pass on to you that we had a very successful Community Corrections Advisory Board meeting yesterday, and we are meeting our goals so that it looks as though we are going to be in a position to secure the full amount of the grant of $231,000 from the Department of Corrections. This will be the first time in a number of years that we won't have to go to Lansing and plead. The system is really working well with the cooperation of the Sheriff's Department and the Prosecutor's Office, and the programs really seem to be accomplishing what's intended to be accomplished, and that is avoidance of incarceration.
Thank you.
I would like to announce that there's going to be a public meeting at the City Hall in Muskegon Heights tonight from 7 until 9. And if any of the commissioners or the public would like to come out, we would appreciate it.
Is that the bus forum?
Yes.
Anyone else? Good. That completes my little spiel. Madam Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and County Board of Commissioners. I present to you for your consideration the approval of the renewal of assessment administration services provided by equalization to the Township of Eggleston, and authorize board chair to execute agreement.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded to renew the contract with Eggleston Township for assessing purposes. Any discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Jager,
Yes.
Commissioner Longmire, Commissioner Plummer,
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Snyder,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Cross.
Yes.
Commissioner Darasinski.
Yes.
Commissioner Engel.
Yes.
Chairman Mahoney.
Yes.
11 yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. County Board of Commissioners, I present to you for your approval renewal of assessment administration services provided by equalization to the City of Norton Shores, and authorize board chair to execute agreement.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Plummer, seconded by Commissioner Snyder. You approve the contract with Norton Shores for assessing through the county. Any discussion?
I just have one. Are they gonna remain in the same space in the city hall?
Yes, they are. That was their preference. Their preference.
That was the city's.
Yes, the City of Norton Shores. And they're actually paying extra for that service.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Longmire.
Yes.
Commissioner Plummer.
Yes.
Commissioner Skolnick.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Snyder.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Collins.
Yes.
Commissioner Cross.
Yes.
Commissioner Derzinski.
Yes.
Commissioner Ingalls.
Yes.
Commissioner Jager.
Yes.
Chairman Mahoney.
Yes,
11 yes.
motion carries.
That concludes my report, Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Old business. Anyone wishing to bring up old business before the committee?
We had the information from Mr. Lukens with respect to the participation of the municipalities in the MATS program. I think it would be helpful at some point in time if we were able to break down the amount of the general fund that winds up being contributed to the MATS operation as well.
At this time, there is no general fund going into Matt's fund.
Okay.
There hasn't been, there's still, they have a reserve, and they have for at least the past 4 years.
Are we using any portion of that reserve?
For 2013, I don't know. In 2012, no, we did not use any reserve.
I know we had that in prior years.
Yeah, we had used, I think, in 2010 and 11, I think we were using like 50,000 each year.
Right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That answers,
Okay.
that would be the, thank you.
Speaking of Mr. Lukens, I wanted to congratulate him and the CVB staff about getting the bowling tournament here again. We must have done a fine job the first time around because they're coming back. Means I'll have to research jokes again. Anyway, new business. Anyone have any new business? Mr. Jager.
I don't know whether to put it up there with the 4th of July thing, but Lakewood Club is still celebrating their 100th year.
There you go.
And they're gonna have a parade on Saturday at 1 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock, we're gonna have the Scottville Clown Band, and there'll be fireworks and stuff over the lake.
Very good. That's the parade run.
You have to go there, it's only a mile square, you'll find it. Something like that. It winds up at the lake, it winds up down there.
I have an item, Mr. Mahoney. I'd like to make a motion to authorize because of the time involved, the Carpenter Brothers lot still has not been finalized for parking for the fireworks, and we're still working through some details with the Nelson Neighborhood Association, but hopefully we'll have, I know that Ted and Bob Lukens have been in conversation with what the requirements are, but I'd like to make a motion to authorize the board chair to sign an agreement to use that parking lot for fireworks with an organization that provides all the necessary, I'm not going to say Nelson Neighborhood, just in case that doesn't, we will find somebody to run it, but they have to have the proper insurance and whatever the county requires.
So, second.
Seconded to approve the county board chair to sign, authorize that agreement. Any discussion?
Bob, if you're hurting for somebody to do that, that group that I have in there for Bike Time Power Tour, they seem to be doing an excellent job there.
The problem is the liability insurance.
Well, that's what they have. They're able to get that through their state organization, I would guess, and I think,
That's a bait.
yes, and if you want me to inquire on
Well,
that.
if you would inquire, because the Nelson Neighborhood is able to do it, but they have no liability insurance, and the price of the insurance probably exceeds what they're gonna make on the parking.
I'll get somebody in touch with you or give you that name today. And Ted, they just need to have an addendum to the insurance they already have on file.
We just, Barbara requested the same insurance that we requested beforehand.
Yeah, through the state. I know it's here because I saw it, but they seem to be doing it. I'll tell you what, as far as volunteers and security, we use them heavily during bike time. And, I'll get with you, Bob.
Mr. Skolnick, have you or Bob spoken to William Parker, the president of Nelson Neighborhood Association?
The person we've been dealing with over there that I have had numerous conversations with is an individual, his name is Marian Olenichek, and I don't know what his position is. They want, basically, they would keep half of the parking revenue, and it would go towards their food pantry, food bank for Nelson neighborhood.
It might be who you speak to the president of the neighborhood association.
Okay, I'll talk to her after the meeting, I don't know who that is, so.
Okay, we have a motion. And a second, any discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Any other new business?
I just want to mention that today, Mayor Warmington is his last day today, and they're having a luncheon or whatever over there, and tonight will be his last meeting. So if anybody wants to attend, and wish him well, stop on over at 5:30.
Thank you. Any other new business? None? We can move to public comment on a new topic. I have a Mr. Nye, Roger Nye, wishing to speak on a couple items.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Roger Nye. I live in Norton Shores, 1495 Westwood Circle. And I'm associated with a group known as Occupy Muskegon, which is as much a civic group as it is a protest group. Basically, we've been attending various local government meetings and observing what's going on. And at the City of Muskegon, we found that a very important program is in danger of being eliminated. This is the Senior Transit Program. And we were concerned about that, and Mayor Warmington very pointedly observed that the City of Muskegon is the only place in the county offering this sort of program to begin with. I was told that I should talk about this with the government of Norton Shores, which I did at their last meeting. But because seniors sometimes need transportation across city lines and so on, I thought it might be a more appropriate subject for the county here. And if money can be quickly brought up for things like fireworks, it would seem to me that some sort of public-private partnership could be instituted to extend senior transit around the county. Basically, there is a model that originated in Portland, Maine, called ITN America. It's a nonprofit. The nearest affiliate to us is Racine County, Wisconsin. They save money, basically, by using trained volunteers as drivers. The trained volunteers are not paid, but they are recompensed in that they are given points that they can use themselves for rides when they get too old to drive. And this is a very important matter for our seniors. They don't want to drive beyond the point that it's safe, but on the other hand, they need to get places, and not just medical appointments. So with Red Cross, they need to get shopping and all sorts of other appointments. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing? We have a couple.
Go ahead.
Joshua Elvin Brady, 1336 Spring Street, Commission District 6. I'm here because I'm concerned with what I'm seeing as the jail project goes forward. Looking at our criminal justice system as a whole, we have a public defense system that's brought us a great deal of criticism. We're one of the counties targeted right now in a statewide lawsuit. We've been mentioned in national publications about the deficiency of the system. Looking at the American Bar Association standards, 10 standards for a public defense system, we fail all 10. 8 of them pretty much completely and dismally. We have oversight that as a system is so deficient that one of our public defense attorneys gained quite a reputation for telling female clients that if they wanted good representation, they needed to provide him with certain services. And it took several years for this to make it up the chain of command before he was forced to quit. More specifically, looking at the jail, again, we don't fail all of the American Bar Association or the, trying to think of what the other professional association, the Corrections Association standards. But we have a lot of issues in the current jail that are a problem. We don't have enough medical facilities. We have too many inmates in one cell, way too many in a couple of cases. We don't have enough meeting space. If our public defense system worked like it was supposed to, well, it couldn't work like it was supposed to because there's not enough meeting rooms for attorneys to meet with clients at that level. We don't have enough physical exercise space. Right now, the inmates at the jail are getting there maybe once a week, as opposed to the national standards, which say they're supposed to be there at least once a day. And what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing for the proposal going forward, and I recognize, like most county residents, I'm not able to get to 3:30 meetings every week because of work. So I have to follow through the news media and through minutes, which don't always tell the whole story. But what it sounds like is what happened is we got to the point that we couldn't lock anybody up. And suddenly that was enough of an issue that we needed to build a new jail. Not that we were overcrowded, not that we didn't have adequate facilities, not that we didn't have adequate defense systems, that we couldn't lock anybody else up. And in what I've heard that's been publicly released about the jail plans, there's only two specific criteria other than size that I've heard mentioned. One is doing more video arraignments, which certainly doesn't help the situation with overworked public defense attorneys who can't be both with their client and in front of the judge. The second is doing video visitation, which actually puts us less in compliance with the American Bar Association and American Corrections Association standards, as well as interfering not just with inmates' rights, but with children of inmates' rights to be able to visit with their parents. And I understand that there's a lot of problems, and I understand why we're looking at a new jail. But it's not acceptable to leave our public defense system and our jail system so deficient from national and international standards. And it's certainly not acceptable to build a new jail or a thoroughly renovated jail that is not fully compliant with those standards, that doesn't fully offer the services that we are legally and ethically obligated to give to inmates. And I just want to say, I think it's the responsibility of everyone who's behind the table here to make sure that as we go forward, not only that the planning is making sure that it meets those standards, making sure that whoever we contract with has to do all the steps to do that, has to build this design that's going to solve the lack of medical facilities, that's going to solve the lack of, right now there's only one meeting space in the jail, that's the library. So inmates don't have access to the library for legal research when there's counseling services, when there's religious services. This commission needs to make sure not only that all those things are being taken care of, but that we as the public are aware of it. Because right now what we're hearing isn't that you're trying to fix the problems, isn't that you're making sure to fix all the problems. What we're hearing right now and what's being talked about is that you want to lock up more people. And if that's what has to happen, then we have to do it the right way. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Jim Riley. I live in Norton Shores. I see some folks taking video of this, and you had indicated that you can't make all the meetings. All the meetings are videoed, and we do post them on eyeonmuskegon.com. So for the full board and for the committee, if you're interested, you can access those anytime you like. Muskegon County Board does respond quickly, and I appreciate it. Heath got me the information necessary so that my laptop can access the information here, so thanks to Heath and whomever else was involved in getting that. If you do have a laptop and you can't get online, check with Heath because he can tell you how to get it done. I see that there was a little confusion about this planning session coming up, understandable, but not so many months ago, there was an offer to give us, for us to give you our email addresses so that we could get notified of unusual events, planning sessions, and whatever email blast list that you have. I know I put my email address out to whoever picked it up. I don't know if you're continuing to do this, or if not, I would like to suggest that you do, because unless you happen to be here at the right time, we won't know when that planning session is going to be, and it certainly would be helpful for those of us who are interested. It's nice to see that there appear to be more and more people interested in what's going on at the county level, that if they could pass their emails to you, and then we could be made aware of different kinds of meetings and things of that sort. And final point is, great credit to Bob Skolnick and his group for putting together this, the fireworks event. And I think I'll contrast it with the trolley to the fairgrounds, which is, I'm sure, a good, at least a good thought. Whether it's a good idea or not, I guess time will tell. But you can be sure that Bob is crossing every T and dotting every I, and the people who are working with him want to make sure that the money's well spent, it's intelligently invested, it's well presented, it's well planned out as much as you can at the last minute. I know as a taxpayer, I would feel a lot more comfortable about providing the trolley services to the fairgrounds if number one, we had a clear idea even before it was voted on in committee of what it was going to cost and what the hours were going to be. I'd feel much more comfortable if we knew that there was going to be a report done at the end that would tell us exactly how many people did take the trolley and how much it did cost, so that we could use that as a marker to determine if it made sense to go further in the future, or maybe keep it even if it didn't succeed at the level that they wanted, that we could come up with ways to make it succeed. And finally, on that point, one of the points is people do like free stuff. And whether this is something that people will pick up on or not, I think has far more to do with the way it's promoted than just the fact that it's free stuff. And I haven't heard a word, not a breath, of how this is going to be promoted so that in fact it will be an intelligent investment of taxpayers' dollars. And it may be just $400 that's meaninless. And if that were the case, then certainly all of you with the pay that you are given, and any one of you could have written the check for $400 if it's such a minor event. But I sure would like to see a little more planning, and I most definitely would like to see a public recounting of how this event worked out, total cost, total people who went to it, how it, any changes we might make in the future. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to make a comment? I believe in terms of promotion of the event, we were dealing primarily with the churches in the inner city.
As transportation chair, I too would like a report like that, and I think it would be very good for all of us. And Mr. Wright, I think we can provide that.
Anyone else? If not, I will mention I see a couple of elected officials, Mr. Thompson from Eggleston, and I believe,
I'm Stewie.
Tom Stewart from Blue Lake Township. If not, we can entertain a motion to adjourn. Second.
He entertained the motion, but I didn't hear the motion from the vote.
Yeah, probably now, I think. Yeah. You need to get copies of this. Why not?